Your doctor prescribed Ozempic for weight loss. They told you about nausea and constipation, but they didn't tell you about the permanent gut damage that's happening right now. They didn't mention the cases of gastroparesis that won't reverse. They didn't warn you about the gut paralysis that could last years after you stop. It's time someone told you the truth. Weight loss drugs like Ozempic and Wegovy are being prescribed to millions. The pharmaceutical companies show you the before and after photos. Your doctor talks about the health benefits. Everyone focuses on the weight loss. But there's a dark side nobody's discussing. These drugs don't just slow your digestion temporarily. For some people, they cause lasting damage to gut motility. Food stops moving through your system properly. And in some cases, this damage is permanent. Here's what you need to know before it's too late. The gastroparesis epidemic. Gastroparesis means stomach paralysis. Your stomach loses the ability to contract and push food through. Food just sits there, sometimes for days, fermenting and rotting. Cases of gastroparesis linked to GLP-1 drugs are skyrocketing. People who never had digestive issues suddenly can't empty their stomachs. Even after stopping the medication, their stomachs remain paralyzed. The FDA has received thousands of reports. Lawsuits are piling up. Yet doctors continue prescribing these drugs without adequate warnings about this devastating complication. Symptoms include severe nausea, vomiting undigested food hours after eating, feeling full after a few bites, extreme bloating, and malnutrition from inability to eat. Some people require feeding tubes, others end up hospitalized repeatedly. The worst part? We don't know which patients will develop this. There's no test to predict who's at risk. You're rolling the dice every time you inject. The mechanism of damage GLP-1 drugs work by mimicking a hormone that slows gastric emptying. This is intentional. Slower emptying means you feel full longer and eat less. But here's the problem. These drugs slow emptying far more than natural GLP-1 does. Your stomach isn't designed to hold food for 6, 8, or 10 hours. The prolonged distension can damage the nerves and muscles that control stomach contractions. The vagus nerve, which controls gut motility, becomes impaired. The smooth muscle cells in your stomach wall get damaged. The interstitial cells of cascade, which act as pacemakers for gut contractions, die off. This damage accumulates over time. Each week on the medication potentially causes more harm, and for some people, the damage reaches a point where it can't reverse. The constipation crisis. Severe constipation from these drugs isn't just uncomfortable, it's dangerous. People are going 7, 10, even 14 days without bowel movements. When waste sits in your colon that long, terrible things happen. Toxins get reabsorbed into your bloodstream. Your colon stretches and can lose its ability to contract. You develop impacted stool that requires medical intervention to remove. Some people develop bowel obstructions requiring emergency surgery. Others end up dependent on laxatives just to have any bowel function. The natural reflexes that trigger bowel movements become permanently impaired. Your colon wasn't designed to hold waste for weeks. The prolonged exposure damages the intestinal lining, kills beneficial bacteria, and can cause structural changes that persist even after stopping the drug. The malnutrition. Nobody mentions. When you can barely eat and your digestion is paralyzed, you become severely malnourished. This isn't just about calories. You're not absorbing protein, vitamins, or minerals. People on these drugs develop protein deficiency, leading to muscle wasting far beyond what weight loss should cause. They lose dangerous amounts of lean body mass. Their bones become brittle from calcium and vitamin D deficiency. Iron deficiency anemia is common. B vitamin deficiencies cause neurological problems. Magnesium deficiency leads to heart rhythm issues. These aren't minor problems. These are serious medical conditions. And because you feel so sick, you can't eat the nutritious foods you need. You might choke down some crackers or toast, but protein-rich, nutrient-dense foods are impossible when you're constantly nauseous. The bacterial devastation. Your gut bacteria need food to survive. When you're eating 500 calories a day because you have no appetite, your beneficial bacteria starve. The bacterial species that die off first are often the most beneficial ones. They're replaced by bacteria that can survive in low-nutrient environments. These aren't the bacteria you want dominating your gut. Studies show dramatic reductions in bacterial diversity in people on these drugs. Some beneficial species disappear completely. The gut ecosystem becomes unbalanced in ways that favor inflammation and metabolic dysfunction. This bacterial damage has consequences beyond digestion. Your immune system weakens, your mental health deteriorates, your ability to produce essential vitamins plummets. You've traded weight loss for a damaged microbiome that may take years to restore, if it ever does. The cases, they're hiding. Let me share what's being reported. A woman who took Ozempic for 6 months developed gastroparesis so severe she requires a feeding tube. 2 years after stopping the drug, her stomach still doesn't work. A man experienced constipation so severe he developed toxic megacolon and nearly died. His colon is permanently damaged. Thousands of people report that months or years after stopping these drugs, their digestion has never returned to normal. They still experience nausea, bloating, and irregular bowel movements. The pharmaceutical companies have known about these risks. The FDA has added warnings. But most doctors aren't communicating this to patients. They minimize the risks and focus on the benefits. What doctors should be telling you? Before prescribing these drugs, doctors should screen for existing gut motility issues. If you have any history of gastroparesis, IBS with constipation, or slow digestion, these drugs are extremely risky. They should start with the lowest possible dose and monitor you closely. At the first sign of severe digestive issues, the drug should be stopped immediately, not pushed through. They should require regular nutritional monitoring. Blood tests for protein levels, vitamin deficiencies, and signs of malnutrition should be mandatory. They should prescribe these drugs only for people with severe obesity or diabetes, not for cosmetic weight loss. The risks don't justify using them to lose 15 pounds, and they should inform you of the possibility of permanent damage. You deserve to make an informed choice about whether the potential weight loss is worth risking your digestive function for life. The safer alternatives. If you're considering these drugs, try every other option first. Diet changes, exercise, stress management, sleep optimization, and gut health improvement can produce significant weight loss without the risks. Focus on blood sugar stability through protein and fiber at every meal. This naturally reduces appetite without paralyzing your gut. Work with a functional medicine practitioner on metabolic health. Address insulin resistance, inflammation, and hormonal imbalances through lifestyle and targeted supplements. If you have diabetes, consider medications that don't affect gut motility. Options exist that improve blood sugar without the gastroparesis risk. If you're already on these drugs, if you're currently taking GLP-1 medications, monitor yourself carefully. At the first sign of severe symptoms, talk to your doctor about stopping. Severe symptoms include vomiting, undigested food, inability to eat, going more than 3 days without bowel movements, or severe abdominal pain. Support your gut while on these drugs. Digestive enzymes, small frequent meals, adequate hydration, and gentle movement may help minimize damage. But honestly, if you're experiencing serious side effects, stopping the medication is the only way to prevent permanent damage. Weight loss drugs promise an easy solution, but the hidden gut damage is real. Gastroparesis that won't reverse, constipation requiring medical intervention, malnutrition from inability to eat, bacterial devastation that persists for years. Your doctor should tell you these risks. The pharmaceutical companies should be honest about the cases of permanent damage. You deserve to know what you're getting into. If you're considering these drugs, exhaust every other option first. The weight might come off, but if your gut is permanently damaged, was it worth it? And if you're on these drugs and experiencing severe symptoms, don't wait. Talk to your doctor about stopping before the damage becomes irreversible. Your gut health is precious. Once it's destroyed, getting it back is incredibly difficult. Make informed decisions. Protect your digestive system. It's the only one you have.